Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score studio. Welcome to the show. So, Edge of Eternities and the Commander Precons were just released, and with that, well, there are some fantastic reprints that you need to pick up right now because their prices tanked, and they very well might go back up. Let's jump into it. So, first up from the actual set, I will just mention this for, the grouping of lands for the Shocklands. Watery Grave is reprinted, and the other Shocklands as well. $10.31 right now, down from like $15, $16 plus dollars, sometimes $20 in some places as well. Shocklands are obviously amazing. Island Swamp for this one, taps for either color. As it enters, you can pay 2 life if you don't enter tapped. Very tutorable, very quick, and also very painless in Commander. Again, that is literally only 1/20th of your life total. You're fine. Hence why Shocklands are great in Commander. Make sure you pick these up if you've been looking for them while they are relatively cheaper. Moving on, now, especially if you are in higher-powered metas, yes, Swansong is an amazing card. I mean, it's great in regular metas, too, but, I mean, it really shines up there. Swansong is an instant for a single blue mana, counter-target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Controller creates a 2/2 blue brood creature token with flying. Yeah, basically, hey, your great spell that you just had, 1 mana, it's gone. Here's a bird. And a 2/2 bird's not really going to do all that much, basically, so... Yeah, this is a great counter spell, low to the ground, very, very flexible, and just $9 right now, comparatively to, well, previously, it was around like $14 or so. A couple of the other prices have actually dropped recently because of this one showing up, and make sure you pick it up before it goes back up. Moving on, now whether you are using Techal as the commander or more likely a card in the 99, yeah, Techal is pretty insane. And there's a reason why it was so expensive and still is, again, around $8, $9 right now, dropping down from $12 plus dollars. So a savings of like, a third or I guess a fourth essentially. But basically, it is something that says, hey, are you playing a deck that cares about proliferation? Yes? Cool. Then you're going to care about this. It's a legendary creature, of course, again, can be your commander. 4 mana in blue, Ferexian, flying. If you would proliferate twice instead. Doubling up proliferation is incredible, amazing. Again, whether you're playing a charge counters deck, a planeswalker deck, ++1 counters deck is generally what you're going to be doing. Or, in fact, yeah, you can do some crazy things with this one, a 3/5, and also you can actually get indestructible counter on it very easily by paying 1 Ferexian Blue, and moving 3 counters from among artifacts, creatures, planeswalkers you control. It protects itself. It's also, again, a value engine. It is absolutely crazy for those types of decks that care about proliferation. There's really nothing else like it. Pick it up now. Speaking of nothing else like it, Cyber Drive Awakener, a 4/4 construct with flying for 6 mana in blue. Other artifact creatures you control have flying. I mean, already right there, that's pretty fantastic. It says when this creature enters, each non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 until end of turn. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy card where it is kind of like a finisher, unlike any other, basically. It's like, okay, I've got all of these little things just sitting around, all these miscellaneous artifacts, all my mana rocks, whatever they are. This comes into play, and it says, oh, by the way, they're creatures. Oh, and by the way, they're not, I was going to say unblockable, but they're very evasive again with that flying. So being able to go, okay, they're all in play, and swing. It is a great finisher for an artifact strategy. $7.97 right now. Its very first reprint ever. Again, like basically a $12 card previously. $12 plus dollars really in some places. Pick it up now. Speaking of cards that basically have never seen a reprint, and now finally have a reprint, we've got Ripples of Potential, an instant for 2 mana in blue. Proliferate, then choose any number of permanents you control that had a counter put on this way. Those permanents phase out. Again, basically utilizing a very old mechanic, essentially with phasing out, but one that does work very well. It's kind of like exiling, but not going into exile. It's just like, it's there, but it's not there. And the benefit of that is that, hey, if something is, say, enchanting it, like an aura, if it has an equipment on it, if it's got counters on it, it keeps those. Because, again, it's there, but it's not there. It is there, but it's not there. So it's going to be staying there. It's going to be giving you value still when it comes back. And it's a great just 2-mana way to go. Yeah, all my things that essentially have counters on them, which, again, if I'm playing a counter-based strategy, I'm saving all of them from whatever board wipe, again, is happening, or whatever removal might be happening. whatever is going on, you can save all those things, and all of a sudden you get extra value on them too with the proliferation as well. So yeah, a great kind of like mini heroic intervention kind of in a way, but for blue and with extra value on top of it. $7 right now, down from like $14, $15 or so. Massive savings. Pick it up. Speaking of massive, Corvold, Fey Curse King, a commander that is absolutely disgusting, absolutely amazing, absolutely devastating, and it's disgusting. A 4/4 Dragon Noble flying for 5 mana in John. When it enters or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a counter on Corvold and draw a card. Yeah, Corvold, ever since it hit the scene back in Throne of Eldraine in the precons, in the Brawl precons, because that was a thing way back when. Yeah, ever since it hit the scene then, it has been an absolute terror in Commander. If you haven't played against one of these decks, be prepared, because it is absolutely OP pushed powerful. Yeah, this is a commander where it's like, okay, I'm playing Evolving Wilds. Oh, I get to draw a card because I sacrificed it. Oh, and by the way, my commander just grew in power. Yeah, Harrow, anything essentially you're sacrificing. Treasures as well, of course. I mean, treasures are like in the picture essentially with this one too, right? That being said, yeah, you have absurdly amazing turns drawing so many cards, sacrificing all the things. Of course, as a commander is where it really shines. In the 99, still absolutely amazing for the decks that utilize it. $5.74 right now, down from like $10+ or so depending on the printing. Pick it up right now. Onward we go, the very first printing ever, the reprinting ever, I should say, Darksteel Reactor, all since Darksteel, my goodness, that was a lifetime ago. An artifact for indestructible, getting your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on this artifact. When this artifact has 20 or more charge counters on it, you win the game. Yeah, one where you're like, all right, I play it, and your opponent's like, that's never going to win you the game. 20 counters, that's an absurd amount. And all of a sudden, it's like 2 turns later, it's like, how did you get 20 counters on that? And by the way, it's indestructible again, so your opponents might have some removal, and they're like, oh, I just have destroy effects, no exile or bounce effects. I'm in trouble. Yes, you are. So yeah, this is a great way to win for a proliferate strategy, a charge counter kind of strategy, a repeat upkeep kind of strategy. $5 right now, a really cool alternative win condition. If you've never tried it out, make sure you do so, especially with commanders too that like can double up counters on things too. Do keep that in mind. Down from like $14, $15 or so, a massive savings, the first reprinting ever. It might be for another 20 years or so or whatever it's gonna be. So pick it up. Now, this one's worth your attention. Fabled Passage is a very good land. Tap, sacrifice it to swipe for a basic land on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. At the very least, this is Evolving Wilds. But if you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. So yeah, obviously better than Evolving Wilds. And obviously with that, more expensive than it as well. $4.60 right now, down from like $7 or so. Some of the other prices have started to drop as well. This is a great card, especially again for just, well, any kind of a strategy that has lands and needs to fix their mana. So I guess like not mono color. But being able to essentially utilize this in, well, yeah, I mean, obviously like landfall strategies, you can get extra value out of it. Again, being basically a fetch land for you. But of course, just like any kind of like, multicolor strategy where you're like, oh, yeah, I'd really like to go get that, but be able to use it right away. Cool, Fabled Passage is great for you. $4.60 right now. Pick it up. I guess I should have mentioned that the card list link for these cards is in the card list link in the description below. Make sure you check that out. And also check out my episodes, my many episodes on Enjoy Your Weather Like Captain. I think it was like my 3rd or 4th, or I mean, it was close. It was one of my very first episodes on this channel, actually. And I also did an episode about a deck that I'll never play anymore. Because, yeah, it's that one. Enjoy Your Weather Like Captain is an absurdly good commander. It is probably my most powerful commander that I have. That being said, I don't play the deck because it is Artifact Storm, and I learned very quickly that players don't like to sit around for 30 minutes while I play the game on my own. Playing solitaire, basically. So with that, this is a commander that is absolutely insane. There are certain playgroups that are completely fine with it, and make sure you ask ahead of time before you play a deck like that. That being said, outside of this being a commander, it's a fantastic card draw engine in a deck. It does say whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. So again, artifact decks, legendary decks, and saga decks, all historic things, go draw a lot of cards with this amazing draw engine for you. So again, whether it's a commander or the 99, a great pickup right now. $2.61, down from like $6+ or so. Massive savings right there. pick it up. And again, if you are going to build a deck around it, make sure you ask your play group first if they're okay with you taking 30-minute turns with the Artifact Storm deck, okay? Massive price drop alert, though, for Ferexian Metamorph. $2.60, down from like $8 or so in some places. Yeah, this thing is crazy good. It's an artifact creature, Ferexian Shapeshifter. Lots of words there. You may have it enter as a copy of any artifact or creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact or other types, and it's a 0/0, and it only costs 3 in a Ferexian blue. This, in my opinion, is one of the best clones out there, and one that actually is very combo-rific. It is one that actually built a modern deck around a long time ago, where I thought I was being very clever with this, and I think it was Leonin Relic Warder, and some other things as well. Basically, like Fiend Hunter loops for fun. Yeah, and I got whooped at a modern tournament. But anyways, that was fun. That being said, this is a card where, again, it is a clone that just costs 3 mana. You can copy any artifact or creature on the battlefield, not just your own. I should say 3 mana and 2 life. And again, it's combo-centric too. Yeah, make sure you pick this one up while its price has dropped right now. Let's zero in on this next big one, though, with Cloud Key. Yeah, cost reduction is insane in Magic. Artifact for 3. As it enters, choose artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, or sorcery. Lots of options. Spells you cast the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So, if you are playing a specific deck around one of those card types, mostly, again, like if you have an artifact deck focus, which is the most popular kind in Commander, you got a creature deck, maybe a stompy deck, cool. Maybe you got an enchantress deck, or if you got a spellslinger deck, awesome. Do so, utilize this, reduce that cost, and again, for newer Magic players out there, yeah, you might just be like, oh, that's only like a mana rock, right? Well, it can give you a lot more value than that because it's reducing the cost potentially for more than one spell each turn, giving you a lot of extra value, especially when it comes to artifact decks where you can have like, oh, my spells cost 0 now. Great. Free. Anyways, $2.46 right now, down from like $4 or $5 or so. If you like cost reduction, if you want to utilize a card like this, pick it up. An oldie but a goodie, Maserat Growl Death Priest. A 2/2 Insect Shaman for 5 mana in Golgari. It's got flying. It says whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a counter on each creature you control. Yeah, this is an OG commander that like really can make a massive impact on the game. Obviously in the 99 as well, but yeah, if you've got any kind of like an Edict deck, I would say, or any kind of like aristocrat style, or any kind of a, hey, everyone sacrifice all the things. I guess that's mostly Edict, right? Or just, you know, you're counting on your opponents playing a bunch of treasures, like there's a treasure meta going on, essentially, in your play group, and they're sacrificing a bunch of things. Cool. You get a bunch of counters on your creatures, and all of a sudden you take advantage of that. All of a sudden you got a massive army, and all of a sudden your opponents are gone. $2.39 right now, down from like $4 or $5 or so. Pick it up. The price on Karn's Bastion has gone here, there, and everywhere over the years, down to $2 right now. I mean, this card is one that, like, first started off, like, barely budget for me, which, like, oh gosh, under $1, thank goodness. Then it jumped up to, like, $5 or $6, and then all of a sudden back down a little bit, and then back up again. It's down right now again. Pick it up at $2.04. This thing is an absolute gem. Does not really take up a spot in your deck again. It is a land that tests our colors, pay 4, tap, proliferate. Down from like $4 or $5 or so for the most part. But yeah, this is a card that, again, doesn't really take up a spot in your deck. It can make a massive impact on the game. Being able to just proliferate off of a land can make a huge difference. So again, like if you're playing a Planeswalker deck, a Charge counter deck, a +1 counter deck, an Infect deck, whatever you are playing that involves counters, pick it up. If you're not playing a deck that doesn't involve counters, then don't. Another first reprint ever. I'm not including San Diego Comic-Con 2019. That's not an actual real reprint. Anyways, another first reprint. We've got God Eternal Bondu. $1.89 right now, dropping down from like $4 or $5 or so for the regular version of the card. That regular version is dropping in price too. A 5/6 zombie god with menace for 5 mana in black. When it enters, sacrifice any number of other permanents and draw that many cards. When it dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, they put it in Source Library, third from the top. This, again, as a commander, or more likely in the 99, is a massive impact kind of card. Kind of like a repeat, reprocess, essentially, kind of card. Where you're just like, all right, sacrifice these things, draw a ton of cards. If this gets sacrificed as well, yeah, I mean, at some point by yourself, but with another effect. You can't sacrifice to its own effect. And then you can just reset the process and go like, okay, go to my library. I'll play you again at some point. Thanks. Or, you know, bounce it or blink it or feign death type effect it to bring it right back when it dies. Plenty of ways to take advantage of it, essentially. Yeah, I guess you really can't do the feign death. But yeah, anyways, being able to just utilize this in a great way to draw a ton of cards and to get whatever other death triggers you might have from your other cards, pick it up. Yet another first for Alibi Ancient Witness, and one that wasn't printed at San Diego Comic-Con too, so there you go. No loopholes there. Artifact creature Golem for 5 mana, and Boros. Other artifact creatures you control have a haste. Whenever one of our artifact creatures you control attack, Alibi is going to deal X damage to any target. You scry X marks the number of tapped artifacts you control. And this is just $1.36 right now, down from like $4 or $5 or so for the regular version. Yeah, this one is great for artifact creature builds. Again, giving them all haste, that is massive, that is huge. Being able to go, okay, I swing right away. On top of that, when you do that, you're like, all right, I can take out, you know, a certain target. If I give this lifelink, I can gain life on top of that, which is lovely. But also, of course, scrying, well, it's not card advantage, it is card selection. It's kind of like a mini tutor in a way to get like, oh yeah, okay, I attacked with 10. Sweet. All right, top 10. What's my best cards? Cool, get those on top. Great, good for me. Lovely. Pick it up right now. And then we've got the Mycosynth Gardens, down to just around $1 right now, $1.28, usually like a $3 card or so. It's a land sphere. Taps for a colorless, pay 1 tap, filter your mana, 1 mana of any color, or pay X tap. This land becomes a copy target non-token artifact you control of mana value X. I mean, this is just like, hey, Soul Ring in the waiting. I mean, obviously Soul Ring is a great example, but of course there's other great examples of amazing artifacts that you could just go, oh, okay, cool. It's a copy of that now. Great, good for me. I mean, Blight still if you're brave, I guess, and you've got enough mana for that. But basically, this is a way to say, all right, I've got an artifact strategy. I've got a lot of great artifacts in my deck. I'm okay with a land that, you know, either just taps for colors or filters my mana. And then I can actually just go, all right, when I need it to, it can become a copy of my best artifact in play. Or again, just a mana rock that taps for even more than this would normally. It's an amazing card. I mean, for a colorless strategy, especially where it's not really like doing anything negative to you. It's just like, oh yeah, it enters on tap, taps for colorless. That's exactly what, you know, all my other lands do. Cool. All right, it's just flexible and it can kind of clone something when I need to. It's a great card. Pick it up now. Hurry really quick before it jumps back up again. Ethereum Sculptor, again, a card that I think when I built my Joyride deck was like 20 cents, maybe at the very most, jumped up to like $3 or so, down to 94 cents right now. Pick it up. A 1/2 Vidalcan Artificer for 2 mana in blue. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We already talked about how, well, with Cloud Key, how, you know, cost reduction can be an incredibly impactful thing. And with artifacts especially, an incredibly broken thing. So yeah, utilize this to great effect for artifact strategies. Pick it up now before it jumps back up again. Speaking of broken artifact things, Emery Lurker the Lock. If you haven't played against one of these decks, ooh, you're in for a surprise when you do. A 1/2 Merfolk Wizard for 3 mana in blue. Affinity for artifacts. Gross. Storm scale. Very high. When Emery enters, mill 4 cards. Tap, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Yeah, ETB, mill 4 cards to give you access to more artifacts. That's lovely. And again, one that like, hey, if this commander's ever dealt with, you just replay it basically for just a single mana. Absolutely absurd. Also, some potential combo things that you can use with getting things out of your graveyard. 93 cents right now. A great artifact commander, and one that's great in the 99 for an artifact strategy. The right kind of artifact strategy, I should say. Pick it up right now. And finally, a Splendid card with Splendid Reclamation. Sorcery for 4 mana in green. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. A great mass. Hey, you know what? All those lands that were just sitting there that I either sacrifice with my deck that, you know, cares about sacrificing lands. Maybe it's one that's got like a bunch of fetch lands. Maybe it's a mill deck. Maybe it's, I don't even know. Lots of decks to get, you know, lands in the graveyard. All of a sudden you're like, okay, cool. You're all back in play now. And by the way, I've got landfall triggers going here, there, and everywhere on top of all the ramping that I am doing. Yeah, this 83-cent card can make a massive game-ending, game-changing play. 83 cents, down from like $2 or $4, $2 to $4, I should say, depending on the version. Pick it up right now. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.